Basically, today we're going to talk about one, and I'm going to ask Rakesh to moderate this session. Lukasz, Wielochowski from Moderna, I can see in the very back there. Hema from LTETS here in the front. And Arunas, I don't know where you are. Ah, there you are. Okay, great. So from BMI. So please join us on stage. And Rakesh is going to moderate this session. So over to you.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Well, nice to meet you. Hold on a second. I have to shake Romek's hand as well. There we go. Excellent. Okay, we're now all friends, so I can ask the difficult questions. So what I'd like to do is maybe have each of you just give a quick introduction and tell me why it took you so long to set up a GBS or shared services capability, and why you chose the location you chose. So Arunas, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Hello everyone. So my name is Arunas Linge. I'm head of BMI Group Global Business Services. Why it took so long? So first of all, BMI also needs some introduction. You might know BMI letters means something different, but BMI Group, it's a relatively young brand in Europe, but we are combining some very old brands and businesses. So we are the largest in Europe manufacturer in a combined flat and pitched roofing. So we combine brands like Brass, Monier, Ecopal. So we are a large company with more than 10,000 people, more than 100 factories, 3 billion turnover last year. And we are present mostly in Europe, but also Asia and Africa. And we are, why became BMI so American largest, one of the largest privately held companies, Standard Industries actually bought the businesses in Europe and combined in one of the largest players in the world. So as we are a young, relatively group of companies, so GBS journey was a natural evolution. It took some time for mental change and alignment internally. And we went through quite a long process preparing. This project was started a couple of years ago. And the storytelling with location strategy, similar probably as most of us went through. Core team in the company with the help of some smart external consultants, developing a super business case going from the long list of locations, went through the scoring model, going down to shortlisted. When we were visiting these locations, meeting local GBS professionals, government agencies, real estate developers. And after final knockout indicators, we selected the final companies which fits us, locations which fits us. So I'm happy Lithuania was a selected location for the captive. But in our journey, we made even more smart, considering that cost pressures in the market, very competitive market, are very high. So we, from the very first day, we went into the hybrid hub and spoke model. So basically in Vilnius, we have a captive center with a more value added knowledge-based roles. And at the same time, we have outsourced our transactional work to a third-party BPO provider in Sri Lanka. So this adds some complexity. It means that stabilization will take longer, but we are on a journey. And today in Vilnius, I'm proud, we are very young. We are 14 months only GBS, but we already have more than 130 people in Vilnius. We are live in 15 markets, providing finance, accounting, master data, IT, HR ops services for more than 15 markets across Europe.
And I'm going to stick with you for a moment, Arunas. So it doesn't surprise me that you chose the G spot of Europe. So
I live there.
That's less surprising. I think the bit that is surprising though is your operating model. You know, and I know we've got a lot of captives in the room today, but you've gone day one. I'm going to outsource to a company based in Sri Lanka. I'm going to set up a captive as well. So you've got that hybrid model. Is that the right solution? Are the people in our audience a little bit crazy for not looking at outsourcing more?
Yeah, well, it's probably not one right answer. Let's say this was a strategic decision because we know that our region is mostly valued for the best mix of cost and quality for our employees. But at the same time, we know that probably for the last, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, our region was a low-cost location, but not anymore. Therefore, we are very consciously, we like the people, and as I say that in our region, we are very, very highly educated, multilingual people with good English skills, good technology skills, hardworking. Therefore, we are very much valued, but at the same time, everybody understands that transactional work is not anymore to be placed in this region due to simply the cost pressures. Ultimate goal is automation. For example, today I have accounts payable invoices being processed in Sri Lanka, but my ultimate goal is to automate fully. We're implementing SAP for HANA through the EDI and want this to be 99% touchless. But SAP is a difficult animal.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
So this is a journey.
So am I understanding that correctly? Outsourcing as a journey to automation for you? But you didn't answer my question as well. Is outsourcing the right option, or our audience need to be looking at that more, do you think?
In a short term, it's a good option to get faster cost efficiency gains. But we also need to consider that if you outsource, then customer focus, process improvements probably will be not the best placed to be in an outsourced provider. Eventually, that's why captive, we are closely working together with our outsourced partner and putting on them targets for performance efficiencies gains which we expect from them in terms of automation. And they have clear targets in the contract how we need to improve performance over the years.
Right.
And this is the clear SLA which we are putting on them.
Okay. Well, thank you for the introduction. Hema, would you like to tell us the same? Talk to us a little bit about the company and the unit and the rationale for the setup.
Okay, definitely. My name is Hema. I'm the center head for LTTS technology. Why it took a long time to answer this question? I blame COVID. Say, 2019, our CEO asked me to give some data, what is the best place to set up our global engineering center. Because we are a pure play engineering company. The company is, our mother company is L&T. So it is about $20 billion company. We purely working with engineers only. Say, LTTS group is on 1.5 billion. So at this moment, and we are focusing on EV, AI, 5G, sustainability, and manufacturing engineering, digitalization. So why is Krakow? Thanks to ABSL, I had to thanks for this one. And I went through all the data, 3 to 4 years. And I look at the data is Poland has a top 5 companies for automotive for countries. Is when you come to the GB, Great Britain, Germany, France, Italy, then it comes to Poland. So that is one reason. Then is our nearshore and offshore centers is very quickly accessibility is there from Poland, from Krakow. So, and also the most important thing is universities, the talent. So Poland has this, Krakow especially, why I choose Krakow is top 10 universities, 3 of them are in Krakow. So based on that, we have set it up our center in Krakow. So we set up in, our integration was about 9 months ago. I was the number 1 employee. Now we have 102 employees, engineers, pure pay engineers only.
Interesting. Yeah. What's really fascinating about that is that it's really a center of expertise. Yeah. It's high skills, high capability. Yes. And you chose Krakow for that because that's where you could find that.
Yes, we talk
about... How's the recruitment been?
Yes, that's, we talk about, every time when I hear, most of them are they talking about this much universities are here, students, this many students are there, but no one use them. Mm-hmm. So what we have done is we have created labs, and same times we create it's called a GEA, Global Engineering Academy. So what we look at it, we talk to the client. So give us a curriculum. Based on that, we hire the students. We can't call them students. We are actually junior engineers. Because when they come out from the universities, they already have a 1-year experience. And I have to use this talent. So what we have done is we upskill their knowledge based on the client requirement. And every second month, we are running 15 graduate engineers. We run in the academy. So,
Excellent. And the scale of this, how big is the center?
center is quite big. We have our first floor, we set it up 165 seats.
Okay.
So now we have to find another place because we create our 4th lab. We are going to take the space and we have to look for another place as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Hema.
Yeah.
Lukasz,
Hello, good morning.
can you give us a bit of an intro about your setup, the center, and why it was set up, and maybe the cost reduction target that you had in setting up?
So basically, I'm representing Moderna, Moderna Enterprise Solution Hub, and it was not about cost. I don't think also we set the center too late. So maybe to give you a bit of story around Moderna, first of all, I'm sure most of you know what Moderna does. So we developed the COVID vaccine as one of the first companies all across the globe. And I truly believe that due to Moderna, we closed the COVID pandemic sooner than we thought. The company is relatively young. So the company was established in 2010 in US as a biotech company, and until development of COVID vaccine, it was a purely R&D company focusing on mRNA platform. With the COVID vaccine development, the company had to grow tremendously. So you can imagine that in 2020, there were around 700 colleagues only in US. Now we have 3,500 colleagues all across the globe. So I joined the company in September 2021 with a mission to establish sort of a hub, a GBS, shared service, call it as you want, in Poland. Why? So I don't think it was late. So it was really at the beginning of the whole Moderna development. So Moderna said, look, we really need to commercialize. We need to set up manufacturing network. We really need to set up supply chain network and all the enabling functions. So we will not do it in each individual country. So the strategy was really to set up a hub in any location that can really facilitate creating the whole organization. So the value of the hub in Poland is really to set up the organization, to set up the processes and scale together with organization. So we have no cost target. We have no cost reduction target because we didn't have any transitions. So it's also a bit unique. We didn't transition anything because there was nothing. So it's a really unique organization and unique opportunity for us in Poland to create everything from scratch.
And where in Poland is?
In Warsaw.
the center?
In Warsaw. So we picked Warsaw mainly because of talent. I would say talent and the business climate. The cost, of course, is important. Yes, so I mean, Poland is still a relatively cost-efficient country when you compare to quality, when you compare to business, when you compare to availability of IT, of network, of facilities, and so on and so on. So it's a mix of things. At the end, we decided on Warsaw. Okay. The first plan was really to hire like 50, 60 people. Now we have 180 people with a plan to reach up to 300 this year. And we started top down really. So it was like an open book. Now we have finance, we have taxes, we have procurement, we have supply chain, we have PV medical, so pharmacovigilance and medical. We have digital or IT, we have HR, we have regulatory, we have legal. So I mean, all across the board, all of the functions that we can really serve out of Poland exist in Warsaw. And I hope we will develop going forward.
Excellent. I hope so too. Look, so what's really interesting about all of your choices is that you've chosen hot cities, Warsaw, Krakow, and Vilnius. How have you dealt with the wage inflation? So we've seen, over the last few years, this heavy demand around people's salaries increasing in each of those functions. At the same time, you've got this business case that the wonderful consultants created that potentially didn't factor that in. So I'm going to go to Hema because you're smiling the most about this question.
Because I didn't prepare for that. So, that's a good question because we have a strategy for this. Actually, what we use it, that's why we look at the market engineers. We have our competitors because purely we have a highly skilled talent we need to hire, and their salaries are quite high. So what we did, we got certain part, but let's say 20% of them, we hired highly skilled engineers. We paid the premium because they are SMEs. So then we went to the universities. We got final year graduates, and we get them the bit lower salary ranges, but very competitive in the market, because I don't want to they join and within 6 months, after they get the training, they leave it. So we look at it at this scenario, and we upskill them and in our academy, and we balance it out. So we use this as opportunity as a...
So if I understand you correctly, you changed the levels of what you're recruiting. So instead of looking at, you know, that pyramid structure, you maybe went a bit lighter on the top and a bit heavier on the bottom.
Yeah. So if you look at it, our academy, the trainers, very highly skilled from US and India. So I asked them questions. So you train every single day different kind of engineers all over the world. They tell me the skill, rate it in the Polish, the graduates who come in from the university. They are the best than anywhere else. So I don't need to look for anywhere else. It's here.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Arunas, I feel like you're under more cost pressure than our two colleagues here. How have you dealt with the same scenario?
Yeah. So, first of all, salaries are growing in all companies, regions, countries around us. So, for example, Baltic, Lithuania is not an exception. But there were some tricks around this, because BMI GBS did a business case back in 2020 on 2018 data, during which 3 years in Lithuania salaries grew 30%.
Yeah.
So now we are having internal projects called recalibrating business case. but this is our approach, which was quite brave, because honestly I don't know any other GBS in Lithuania which went straight into this, because probably 97% of our GBSs in the Baltics and potentially in the region, I'm not so a big expert in statistics, are captives. We are going into this model exactly to address this issue, because in Vilnius I don't have junior roles. I have SME roles, knowledge-based roles with language skills. So I automatically, my skill level is already higher. I already know that my cost will be higher, but having in the back that all my transactional work is done in a outsourced, low-cost location country, our combined business case is very attractive. However, the main challenge is that my team need to manage end-to-end service delivery. Basically, we are implemented service delivery model which splits the process into parts. The part of a process is executed in an outsourced provider, and the remaining of process is executed in captive. So eventually we deliver end-to-end as one GBS. So this is a main challenge, and the learning that unfortunately stabilization period will be longer than initially planned.
And when you did that recalibration of the business case, did that mean that you adapted the salaries accordingly and, you know, took care of those market conditions in people's wages?
Yes, correct. And we just look into what's next, and basically it means that we will evolve into basically center of excellence over time, more focused on FP&A, treasury, IT, more higher value tasks, whereas being either outsourced to BPO or ideally automated.
And Lukasz, same question. Is that the same answer from you, that, you know, you just adapted to the new salaries?
We are relatively young, so we adapted basically.
Because you don't care about cost anyway.
Well, I think it's an important it's an important element, of course.
I want to come work with you, by the way.
But I think salary is important, but look at, first of all, total rewards and then total benefits to corporate, yes? So, and the total cost of running business. So I think we like to think, and we all have seen a lot of slides from consultants, hey, the salaries in over there are 50% than what we have in Poland, but that's really true, yes, when you compare all the overheads, all the cost of control, all the things that you need to manage outsourcer, manage other locations. So it's, I think it's really important that as leaders, we also share this information with our senior stakeholders to make them aware that it's not only about salaries. Okay. For people, yes, we have total rewards, and something interesting that each employee of Moderna is actually an owner of Moderna. Yes, so we also are trying to put the total rewards package in a competitive manner. It's not only about salary. So,
excellent, excellent. So let's stick to that topic of people. And Romek and Ash described earlier, the type of inspirational leaders that you need to run these centers that you have. So the first part of my question is, have you managed to find those leaders? Has it been easy to find those people in the markets that you operate? And then my second question is, we're in a changing market with a hybrid model, with new types of services. That skill set of management is very different today than maybe it was 3 years ago. How have you then trained those leaders and that management team to adapt to what 2023 and beyond looks like? Lukasz, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, our strategy was to hire experienced people. Yeah, so we did not hire really many junior people. Everyone is really experienced because we knew, as I said, that that we have to build the organization. So we knew we are investing in people. We know we are investing in company. We really need experienced people. So basically, they do have experience. I'm really glad that we found those people on the market. That have this experience and have the proper mindset. So mindset and culture, when you build organization, is critical. You can have KPIs, you can have strategy, but basically, if it's not about culture, people, you will not achieve your objectives. So we hired experienced people. What we are doing in Moderna is really educating them and putting the mindsets that we are having into operations. So people really share ideas, come up with suggestions, and really build things. Don't expect that someone will do it for you. We really encourage and reward colleagues that come up with suggestions and ideas and take things into their hands. So this is really important for the GBS organization, because sometimes we tend to expect things come from top down, and that's not happening. The expectation in Moderna is different, that GBS is like a powerhouse, really developing best-in-class solutions for our partners all across the globe. So that's around people.
For us, I came from background, two companies I used to work for. One is, their motto is employee first, customer second. Another one is engage and empower. So you adapt that to our current center. So what we have all the engineers, they are empowered to do anything. How we motivate them, because I know in the certain times pass by, they will get bored. Definitely, all of us, when you do the same thing, it will be, they are demotivated. So what we did was we set it up different labs. So either if someone works on the EV, they can go work in the 5G. So okay. Their options are open for them to go and elaborate, or if they are not motivated, they can move into different areas. For either they can go to works in the BMW in Germany or somewhere else. So what we engage with employees, and my core team is very much the engagement is day to day. So they're empowered, they are motivated. And especially, I'm looking for, when we hire, we look at even the graduates, we look at the people who has a passion. So that's the key to success for us.
Okay, excellent. I'm not going to come to you, Arunas, with that question, because I want to hear more about what went wrong. So, we've heard a lovely story from each of you. It's been wonderful. We pay people what they want. It's we don't care about the business case. It's a really good story. But Tell me what went wrong. So, you know, in your setup, what was the biggest problem? Arunas, I'll start with you. What was the biggest problem that you had in your setup?
Make it short and quick because we're going to finish soon. So.
Okay, short and quick, Arunas.
Well, so no major problems.
Oh, okay, next.
It's-
Hema. What was the...
So our main challenge, don't use problems, challenge, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Challenge is exactly our delivery model. Because it was brave to go in this setup, and it's just due to the cultural differences, due to the different mentality, ways of working, distance, because my team were going in person to take over knowledge. People from Sri Lanka, it's all remote session with translators online who are not accountants. We translate accounting job to Sri Lankans into English, not being accountants. So you can imagine what kind of SOPs we have. But it's a journey. So for us, main challenge is a delivery model, which we need to stabilize as soon as possible.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Hema.
The challenge we are facing now is really depend on the hardware. We have because due to the war situation, and it's very difficult for us to get a certain hardwares to our engineers to train and develop them. So, but we find another alternative solution. We go to the Asia market and just import from Asia instead of getting in Europe. So that is another one. And the second one, of course, is to be honest in the recruitment. So, but we sort it out through the universities and
Okay,
that option.
so recruitment, operating model, Lukasz.
I just had quickly, I think recruitment and speed of recruitment, yeah. So we still have like 80 open recruitment positions. So if we could do it quicker, the better for us. So to close this.
Excellent. Okay, recruitment. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks everyone for listening.